Cracking down on retail crime is taking a new twist, equipping store employees with body cameras. Here's what those body cameras will look like. The parent company of TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and HomeGoods will have some of their employees body cammed equipped. The company's finance chief says it's a de-escalation strategy where people are less likely to do something when they're being recorded. Retail crime has become a surging problem nationwide, with stores on the brink of trying anything to keep their employees and customers safe. Last year, stores lost more than $121 billion in retail theft. And is projected to get even worse by 2026. Stores could lose nearly $150 billion. For more insight, let's bring in retired NYPD Chief Wilbur Chapman to help us break this down. Mr. Chapman, what's your take on putting body cameras on store employees? Does that possibly put them in harm's way?
Well, this is indicative of a problem that has really been plaguing most major retailers and the mom and pop stores in many of the neighborhoods in our country. There's a real issue with the fact that changes in legislation have prevented remanding thieves from being kept in custody until they're brought before the bar of justice. And as a result, recidivism is encouraged, and changes in the legislation that have eliminated remanding into anything less than a serious physical injury have encouraged people to continue to get involved in illegal activities. And it's really crippling the retail industry, and the costs that are inflicted upon them will be passed along to everyday customers. So it's a blight on our society. And unfortunately, when you record an incident that occurs, you haven't prevented it. And the purpose of all of this is to discourage, but it really doesn't. It really just creates a record of what occurred, and can possibly escalate if one of the individuals involved in the theft decides they want to take the camera so that their image is not collected.
That, Chief Wilbur, or I'm thinking just the mere fact that someone may take offense to being recorded, thinking that, oh, why are you recording me? You think, so all of a sudden this becomes something that may have been nothing beforehand. What customers think about something like this? Is it just for show, do you think? Or some critics say it could make customers feel less safe, like I talked about, or do you think it really will work as a deterrent?
Well, I don't think it's going to be much of a deterrent. I think it's more of a psychological device to make the employees feel a bit safer, that perhaps they won't be attacked if they're wearing a camera and take an image of somebody who's involved in illegality within the store. However, the reality simply is, unless there's changes in this legislation, this activity is going to continue. And not only the store owners and shoppers going to be in danger, but you're creating a class of people who think they're impervious to punishment when they're involved in this kind of activity.
And Chief, I just want to push back on there, have you break that down for me. You say impervious to punishment. You're literally saying that you believe that there's a group of people who are making and doing these crimes who just don't feel like anything will happen to them if they're caught.
That's absolutely correct. The bottom line is a very small percentage of our population is involved in criminal activity. However, the fact that there was a sense that they didn't want to remand people for stealing a loaf of bread, this has really created a cottage industry of people who are preying upon retail because they'd rather take the loss than hire security guards in some instances, or get involved in a lawsuit when someone who is stealing from the store may be apprehended and might not be treated in the way that the thief thinks they should be.
Chief, what have you seen? You, as a former NYPD chief, what have you seen with retail crime just getting out of hand? We've all seen the viral videos of the guy in like the convenience store swiping stuff into like a plastic garbage bag and simply walking out. We see their group of young people just smashing jewelry cases. So many people hitting a store at one time that an employee wouldn't know what to do. What have you seen as far as things escalating?
Well, the theft rings are clearly organized, and they are clearly setting up a situation where they know what kind of retail they're going into, what they're looking to take, and how quickly they can escape and what escape routes to live. Before, years ago, it was just an individual acting independently, trying to do crimes of opportunity. That's not the case anymore. This has become a cottage industry.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.